You guys have any idea of that?
I love that idea. I've been thinking about that quite a lot actually, because I've been running into
Uh-huh.
a lot of people over at Bankless that are new. They're trying to get involved and are you know um, trying to escape their current drudgery or whatever. Just like I don't
Mm-hmm.
know whatever their motivations are, but they're um, and then I've also met a couple people that have recently leveled up and are starting to generate a bank salary and yet they're brand new. They've been Dow punks for like 3 months and
Uh-huh.
they're kind of starting to make it. I think those are really cool, inspiring stories, and I think that's sort of our it feels like that's our mission, right? Is to help
Yeah, yeah.
guide people in that direction, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So if
I,
we
I
deploy some resources out to just interview people and kind of give them, have like a series, that'd be cool.
yeah. I mean, everyone has his own story, and every one of us are making our own path. But sometimes we heard someone telling us a story and we can relate it to that. Sometimes it makes sense. And one of the things that I feel hard to me, not hard to engage in a community, but to make it a kind of to make a living from that. For me, it's still hard. I'm already working with some DAOs, but I'm really engaged because I like the projects. But some of them are so small, they are so in the beginning, they just don't have that money. So that's a lot of work that there's no money. And I do believe in what we are doing here and our mission. I'm sure about that. But for people who wants to become full DAOs, I do believe that this is important, how to make a living from that. Because just working is the easier part, I believe.
Hey,
And
hey, Diego, can you
okay.
can you repeat that
Yeah.
last part? Because I thought that was really, I loved where you're going with that. What did you say was the hardest part?
The hardest part is to make a revenue, to
Oh
get
yeah,
to
to
get
to
paid.
generate actual income. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
easy to
exactly.
work, but hard to actually get.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Because
Yeah.
there's plenty to do, but some of these
Yeah.
some of these projects have less to invest in their people, right?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's not a problem. I'm just using my example here because it's the one I know. And okay, we have lots of projects, lots of things are going on here, lots of work to do, and I pretty much spend all my time here, but our treasury, it's really small. So it's not hard to find a community and to help this community to build something. But if someone wants to leave his traditional job to work in DAOs, there's the money part. It's not pretty to talk about it, but it's important.
Yeah. Sorry, it looks like I might have just interrupted somebody.
No, no, I was just gonna say, hopefully the grants will help with that. Because I know they just sent out um,
The proposal.
yeah, the proposal. So
Mm-hmm.
that's gonna go through um, soon, hopefully. Hopefully that'll help out a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. Me and Miko we were on a call today. I don't know if it's night where you are, but it's night for me, and it was this morning, and we were talking about that. And one of the questions that I made was just exactly this, because I'm working for some DAOs, and and I don't have any more time, but it's not enough what I made from them. to to just drop my regular job. And okay, I know the grants, and I intend to apply for the grant. It's 1.8. It's it's money, it is money. But for 6 weeks, I'm being in this space for, I don't know, 3 months or four, probably 4 months. So 6 weeks, maybe it's not enough, So even for the grant proposal, it will be nice to learn how to during the 6 weeks to work in a way that you can create some revenue to then you walk by yourself. And yeah, I'm just saying all that to say that it's really important, the major and the theoretical part of what we are doing. But I'm really interested in the practical, in the practice, how people did that. And this is why I believe the interviews are important.
Yeah, agreed. Um, does anyone have ideas of people we could interview who would be good to talk about this subject, kind of go full DAO and um, how to earn, like how to make that transition and um, earn like a stable income.
I have some suggestions here. The hero Kenley, that he's always around here, and I work with him at the Good Morning News as well. And the Genetics, she's an awesome designer, and she's is here, and she designs for the Bankless DAO as well, and Crypto Bushy for sure. Mhm. And
These sound like all parts of the bankless mafia, right? Which
yeah.
is what I really think that we should. Uh, I don't know. We should try. We should try to stretch to other domains as well. Um,
hmm I'm just talking about the ones I know here,
oh
and
yeah, no,
this.
totally, totally.
No, no,
I
yeah,
don't know.
okay.
I don't know a lot of other people either. It seems.
So, but this guy Joy Magia that I told you about, he suggested to me Humpty. That's the guy from also the Bankless DAO. He's the host of Crypto Sapiens. Humpty, I can put here this.
Yep, I remember him. I think he's in LA somewhere. He's a audio guy. He's like a podcaster or something.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you
then
know
there's
Grendel? Do you know this guy? Grendel?
no, no. Oh wait, Grendel. Yeah, he's in Italy.
Grendel.
Grendel. He's
Uh,
kind of one of the OGs from Bankless.
uh-huh.
Uh, and I was trying to think of. There's another guy that hangs around Bankless, but I think he's more of a let's see what's his name, rotorless.
No, I know. No, I
He's
don't.
he's he's I think he's involved in a couple of different places. So he would be. I don't know how many of these people are full time DAO, but they certainly make a huge contribution.
Uh-huh.
You know, so it makes me feel like. And, uh, so unlike me, I'm sort of on the older end. Uh, I have more ability um, to uh, to earn less because I've earned more in the past. I think what we need are the to cobble together a living
Yeah,
and
no,
and
I think I got you.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I got it. And yeah, because some of old, but older than me at least,
Well,
and some
and
of them.
actually, there. even if they're not old, there are people like Lucas, OX Lucas, who
Okay, yeah,
I think just
I know.
he just I think he's just rich beyond anyone's imagination. This is my
Mm-hmm.
guess. I don't know this for sure, but I think he was investing in ETH when it was like $1. So
Yeah, 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 yeah. So yeah.
that's not a
So
good
the
example,
DAO.
right?
No, yeah, but I understand. It doesn't just doesn't matter just to be full DAO, but to became full DAO working for DAOs, right? We are not looking for someone that can have a passive income from any other uh, revenue from that's not from DAOs and just work here
Yeah,
as
yeah.
a hobby. Yeah, right.
So
Yeah.
a lot of those guys that I was that we were riffing on before, I think they might be well, I don't know what their situation is. I guess is the long and the short. A lot of them may
Mm-hmm.
be passive income people,
Mm-hmm.
where they're not having to work. So we
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, no, makes totally sense for me. What do you think, Ella?
I like that.
Yeah, yeah. So I just Bo is
Yeah.
okay. I just spaced the name again.
No, I'm on my mobile. I'm sorry.
Oh no, no, don't worry. I'm just you can check it later. I just paste here some names that Joy sent me as an idea. I don't know them all, but I know. Oh, I'm gonna erase True Cat because I know she has another job. And yeah, I, okay. So this I didn't go too far with the newsletter idea. I'm just talking about the interviews because it's something that I already do for I already yeah, I already do interview people for Bankless Brazil, and for me is important. I don't know if you guys know that the artist Perchi, he draws
Well, I think
he,
kind of the cool thing about this is that it's again, this is my first call, so forgive me if I'm
mm,
overstepping, but
yeah, no,
it
don't
feels
worry.
like
Don't worry at all.
feels like this can be whatever we want it to be. Um and we can make like this let's call it an interview series can be just something um that we start to produce, and the newsletter can change over time, but like for
Mm-hmm.
now this feels like a productive place for the Dow punks to be spending some energy.
Okay, yeah, I think I agree with you. And most because we are also I'm not on this project, but I know there's some talk about a podcast as well. And this kind of interview could be good for both, you know. We could have it written and we could have these people interviewing on a podcast as well.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Wasn't someone talking about a podcast on the first meeting? I can't remember who it was, but I could have sworn that came up. Someone was talking about having like a podcast running kind of alongside the newsletter.
Yeah, I remember this. I remember some. I'm not sure about the idea, but I heard that as well.
If you look
I
in the
think that would be
Discord
nice.
channels, the podcast is sitting there right next to the newsletter. Um, if you can see that
Event.
under projects, there's podcasts and newsletters.
Uh-huh.
So there's in the podcasts, I think, I don't know if there's been a meeting about it, but there's been a lot of discussion in the channel, and there's been a couple of documents that Daddy Maddie prepared that outlines like some of the basic needs for the podcast as far as writers and um, people facilitating like sponsors and all of that stuff. But I like the idea of interviewing people who are making a living working for DAOs, and I see the challenge of finding some folks outside of our niche. Like I wonder if like the DAO Punks Twitter account, if they would want to use that to solicit people who have already made the transition who want to get interviewed. They could just drop a tweet and say like, hey, if you're working full time and you're willing to be interviewed, maybe we could get some folks that way.
Yeah, this is just it's exactly what I do for Bankless Brazil. I reach people on Twitter and I send them DMs. And I just did this a couple weeks ago with Crypto Bushi and asked him to come to our show. He said yes. I sent him the questions. I'm just waiting him to answer them. And yeah, okay, last month we interviewed Perchi, the artist, and it was a surprise for me how he became a kind of full down, He just started making some draws about some kind of funny jokes that happen on meetings. And suddenly people was asking him to make some draws, and and he was making the chippies, the PFPs, and this kind of stuff. And he made an NFT drop for the Bankless DAO, and now he's a full-time artist. And took him, I don't know, 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good
Okay,
story.
so
Like I think we all need access to more of those stories. And I mean, I'm all about the internal, folks. Like I guess I haven't been kicking around Bankless for very long, so I'm not as acquainted with everyone as you call them, the Bankless Mafia. I think that's hilarious. But yeah, this distinction between like, do you have the time to work in DAOs because you're kind of just making money off of your crypto investments, or do you actually have income from DAO work? Like, that's an important distinction. But at the same time, it kind of like comes with the territory because once you do start getting paid working for DAOs, you kind of know where to invest the money that you're getting paid with. And so that income starts to multiply in that kind of way. It's
Mhm.
almost like inevitable that anyone who does go full-time DAO is going to end up making passive income off of crypto investments. So if you filter out all of those people, you're not going to be left with very many, just because of like what happens, which is a great thing for us, the fact that we have that like investment opportunity on the side, but it does take like actual income to be able to do that in the
Yeah,
first place. So I don't know. I
That's a really good point.
Yeah, like I
yeah,
wouldn't
that
I,
is.
exclude people who are independently wealthy
right.
from like crypto investments, but I would try to specifically include people who do have income coming in from DAO sources.
So what I would do then is amend my statement and say, look, we're obviously not going to exclude you because you've done well, but what we want to hear is the story of how you hustled your way into becoming full-time DAO.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that could include people who are well on the other side and are now pretty comfortable, but we still don't, we want to hear about the story of the hustle, right? And the maybe some landmines that they stepped on that we should be aware of, or tricks that they were able to um, utilize that gave them a leg up or something like that, right?
Yeah, and even though they are well off now, they may still have income from DAOs currently that is like would be rewarding to learn about what all of their revenue streams are, because sometimes it takes that, like basically the grants for some folks is going to be what for other folks their like crypto investment earnings was. So people have been able to live off their crypto earnings to make the transition to DAO work. And because they had that cushion, now they have income coming in from DAO work, So they're doing well, and they have like money coming in passively from investments as well. But I think just like outlining all of the DAO income opportunities would be really cool, to just have a list, honestly, of just like, here we put out a poll and we just asked everybody to like list what their income sources were for DAO work and kind of just tally that up. That'd be some really interesting data to look at, like how much income are people getting just from like writing for newsletters or doing podcasts, or like honestly, I'm a little bit confused about all of like what kind of opportunities there are to make money. Like my target is development, so smart contracts, and beyond. But I know there's definitely a lot of money to be made there. But I'd be really curious about um, other revenue opportunities outside of technical development.
Hey, I love this idea. I love because we could make some kind of table to ask from the OGs. Okay, what are the main points of money where we could get money? Kind of writing, development, as you said, with marketing, with I don't know, for artists, with dropping NFTs. And on the other hand, we could, especially for the people that are just arriving, to have a table of skills, to make something like a database. Okay, what are the opportunities here and what skills people already have and how we could match it. Does it make sense?
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, like one of the great services that we can provide for the whole space is like talent sourcing, so kind of just curating like a catalog of talent and people looking for talent and linking those together. I mean, it seems like a perfect
Mhm.
match, right? And long
Yeah,
term, I think that there's a huge amount of value there.
yeah, and so we could make some kind of form that I don't know. I may be taking another way here. I don't know if it's related to the newsletter, but I'm just brainstorming now. And correct me if I'm saying something wrong. But yeah, some kind of form to ask people. Okay, do you want to go full down? Do you already have an experience with DAOs? And what are your skills? What you like to do? And on the other hands, we could kind of make a commission or some work group to reach another DAOs. They're looking for workforce and ask him, hey, what kind of people do you need? What kind of skills are you looking for? How much are you willing to pay? Something like that. And we could make this bridge. I don't know how the newsletter, how this has to be with the newsletter, but yeah.
No, I think you're onto something though, because I don't. Are there job boards out there for crypto jobs or Web3 or DAO jobs? Because job boards can be really they can be profitable. I
Huh.
don't. I mean, in the in the Web2 world. Um, so if we obviously it wouldn't be profitable at the start, but if we start a really popular jobs board, that could be a revenue source for the DAO punks, and it could just be a part of the newsletter features. So like we got the what do you call it? Featured job of the week or the month or however whatever it is. We could have the featured DAO punk. Like we're gonna interview Rotorless and figure out how he hustled his way into becoming a full time DAO. And then we got other features that might be like what to watch out for as a newbie. Like, hey, this is if you get airdropped a coin, beware. It might be a rug puller. It might be a nefarious contract. So there,
Mm-hmm.
if we have those regular features and we have a couple of writers here that are worth, or not worth, willing to, to write those features, that seems like a pretty strong offering.
So our main quality here at Punks could be to work as curators, because there's a lot of people out there. There are lots of DAOs, but which one are the best? Which opportunities are the best, and yeah, we could work it out. Yeah.
And I do a lot of work at Dalationships Guild
Mm-hmm.
in Bankless. So what I'm trying to get done with our guild, or like the team that's assembled there, is to coordinate, real, um, uh, like database, I want to say, but like real knowledge around just that, which DAOs are doing interesting things and what are they up to, and we could, it's not our mission, but it could be something that I'm aware of. Um, are things like which DAOs are probably hiring, like what's
Mm-hmm.
where's the where is there cool stuff that's going on.
Mm-hmm. That sounds nice. Yeah, because if your mission here is to help people to onboard this world, it will make all the sense for me.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I think so too, especially because so many people here need helpers. Like there is never enough help.
Mm-hmm.
Um and a lot of people are kind of sitting on the sidelines not sure what they can do. So I think there's a disconnect that um we could definitely help with there.
mm,
Totally. There
Yeah.
was a
Yeah.
response in the recent survey that we put out where somebody said that our biggest goal for 2022 should be to get 20% engagement among the people that are actually on the server at Bankless, because I think the server has, like, I don't know, it's probably like 20,000 people on it, and yet there's really only a couple hundred at most contributors. So 20% engagement would be 4,000 people. That's an outrageous goal, but just think about how many people are actually on the sidelines. If we have like 300 or 400 contributors, um, that's there's just it's just an ocean of talent there that's not being used. And so maybe what our mission should be is to try to create engagement among those people that are already that have already shown an interest, but just don't know how to help.
Hey,
yeah. I
reach
mean,
reach
and
me out.
I
I'm
think
on the
like,
sideline there.
Yeah,
I think to Ella's point, like, that sometimes like we need to understand what direction to go in, and I think kind of curating this table of opportunities of like, this is actually what people are looking for. People get an idea of like, okay, cool, I'm going to develop these skills, because sometimes like, I have a handful of skills, but I need to know which ones to really hone in extremely well to offer like supreme value to someone who would then be willing to actually compensate me for that value that I can offer. And kind of having that, somebody, us going out among other DAOs and actually like soliciting, like, what do you need? Like, what are you looking for? What do you wish you had more of? How much are you willing to pay for that? I think like that's super good data. I think like if we just had that data in hand right now and we could look at that, that would be incredibly empowering to so many of us. And then the other thought I was having was like thinking of what you were talking about, Diego, with just like, how do I actually start bringing in money? And I think like in this space, it's so highly entrepreneurial that a lot of the opportunity isn't like gonna be somebody's willing to pay you to do this job. And like, it's kind of like you have to come up with it yourself. Like, we have to generate the value ourselves. So I'm thinking of this, um, this concept of being a curator of talent and monetizing that, you know? I mean, within DAO punks, like, I mean, for example, we could just ourselves independently, let's say the four of us or whatever, just say, oh, we're going to do this thing. We're going to create this new channel in DAO punks, and we're going to do this thing where we create, what did you call it, Bo?
This table, this database.
A workboard or something like that. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, you can make a lot of money that way, I think, by connecting the right talent with the right people who need the talent. And that'd be like a long term, you know, like great financial
Lots of
opportunity
work, yeah.
that honestly I think like the full Dao Punk vision is kind of like lacking a little bit in the opportunity to do that. Um, so I think it just takes whoever like has the initiative to just freaking do it is gonna be balling, you know, like they're gonna be doing really
Hmm.
well. It just takes that initial bit of push for like however long it takes to make it happen before you're even earning income. But the fact that we're writing on like the social value of this DAO offers like a great opportunity to sort of like inject whatever vision that we each personally have for opportunities and then combine those together to mutually benefit from these ideas. And
So,
you kind of just have to generate the wealth ourselves rather than like waiting for somebody to
hmm
like come around and pay us to do something for them.
so yeah, but so how about we create this project, and this could help both the newsletter and the podcast to make. Yeah, go ahead, Ella.
Oh, I was just gonna say, sounds great. Let's do it.
Great, I'm down for it.
Me too.
Um, cool.
I think there's a big need.
Yeah, great. So I'm writing right now here at the general. I'm asking who has so I ask Hero Kennelly that he I know this the moderator here. Ask him to create I don't know how it's called this a topic here to so
A
we
work
can
table.
discuss further this idea
What was it? A
to
workboard,
make a yeah it's job board, work
job
board,
board.
some can be talent board, something like that.
Yeah.
So we could on the same on the same pace we could create a form to get information from people who are interested in go full DAO, and we can try to start to contact another DAOs to ask them what skills do they need. Pretty much basically we could start with this. Are you agree?
Yeah, that
Do you
sounds
agree?
excellent.
Cool. Okay, I'm writing him to him right now.
And I don't know if there's a specific technology you have in mind, but this could easily just be an Airtable that we build that has that then we have complete control over the what data we're gathering, and we can expose that via a public web page. Then we can tweet that. We could drop it into various discords. Guilds within DAOs. To and just sort of populate that around and try to get people to fill it in and make it really an active um, part of the community, and then see if we can fill some jobs, which would be really cool.
That would be super cool. Okay, cool. So what's our work items for right
Okay.
now?
I'm I'm writing on I'm sorry, I'm writing on Discord, but I'm gonna make a draft here so
Okay.
you can help me with this message. Then we're talking.
Maybe I'll make a Google Doc for the workboard, um, as far as forms that we
Yeah,
can go around to other DAOs. And so we'll have one form that's asking DAOs, what kind of talent do you need? And how much are you capable of like compensating that talent for? And then a separate form that would be for prospective talent that says, what kind of skills do you have? And
Great.
yeah, connect the two together. What was this platform that you were describing, Bo?
Oh, it's called Airtable. It's a really user friendly build your own database tool, and we'd need to buy a subscription. Like, I'm sure the Dow Punks can afford it. It's I don't know who holds that credit card or that fiat, but I'd recommend using something like that. We can always build something later ourselves, but probably better to do something that's really off the shelf and we can spin up in a matter of a couple of hours.
Cool. Do you have experience working with that?
Yeah, I've done a bunch of Airtable stuff. I'm not a pro, but it's super easy. I mean, like, I'm not technical.
Well, you'll be a
I'm
pro
just
once you start getting paid.
very true. Yeah, this sounds like a fundable project. By the way, like I bet if we just made a little bit of traction here and published our first newsletter, there'd be, we might all have a job out of it.
Yeah,
Like a
totally.
grant, like we could maybe even see if we could get a grant in the new, I guess, grant thing. I don't know what the official name for it is.
Mm.
But that'd be pretty cool.
That would be interesting to actually apply with a project
As a
in
team.
mind as a
Yeah.
team and say, like, okay, we want to launch this project. I mean, and there's a lot of opportunities, right? Um, like there's an interesting concept of like, okay, if this is a division of Dow Punks, then like what is the mutual benefit relationship between Dow Punks and us, And so then what if there is that long-term mutual benefit, then there would be an interest in funding these startup costs, which honestly seem like they would be pretty minimal. And that, like, I mean, I would, if we had like a really great model and some potential, like I could fund like some out-of-pocket expenses or something to, um, to get something like this going. But if we're doing it through Dow Punks and it's like, okay, Dow Punks is gonna also receive a portion of the revenue, um, for like umbrellaing this project, then they might also be interested. We haven't discussed that really, like how does the Treasury sort of approach proposals like this where extensions of the Dow Punk project have overhead that they want to pay for, with the sort of promise of like future revenue opportunity, and be a whole new element to bring into the whole governance framework.
Okay, I'm gonna send the message here on the general, no, the project, right? Okay. Yeah, I tagged you all guys. So yeah, wow, it was really productive. I love it. It's, hey, really nice to meet you guys, by the way.
Really,
Yeah, cool.
can't wait to get
Very
back to
cool.
Sao Paulo. When I do, we will. Or I assume you're in Sao Paulo. Is it? Did I hear you say that? Or just Brazil?
No, I'm a kind of just, yeah, everything here is far from everywhere. So I'm north of São Paulo. It's called Vitória. It's near. It's on the beach. I live. São
Oh,
Paulo is, yeah,
that works.
but I like São Paulo as well. São Paulo is nice.
All right, I'll take the beach. But first, I have to be able. If I can pronounce it, I can get there.
It's Vitória.
Vitória.
Vitória, like victory,
Oh
but
yeah, like
with,
Victoria. Sure.
yeah, Victoria. Just like in Australia, there's a city, a town called Vitória. Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
If you search for Vitória in Google, Vitória Brazil in Google, you're gonna find some really beautiful pictures.
Fantastic. We'll be right there.
Great.
Yeah,
Nice.
wow.
I know Miko is in Mexico, right, Miko?
Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful
And
over
how about
here.
it, it is
I bet it's reminiscent of this Victoria. Victoria or Vitoria? Victoria. Ah, I see it here.
Vitória. There's no
Victoria.
C.
Ah, yeah.
Vitória.
Oh, it looks beautiful, man. Yeah,
And
San Cristobal
how
over
about
here
you,
is,
Ella? Where are you?
yeah, San Cristobal de las
Uh,
Casas. Oh, Ella?
Thanks,
Yeah.
guys.
I'm in Colorado.
Oh.
Colorado. I lived in Colorado for some months. I
Oh, no
used
way.
to live. Yeah, I lived in Silverthorne, near Frisco.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Uh, really cold.
Freezing.
Oh, that's nice. And how about you,
Sounds a
Bo?
little
Where are you?
depressing.
Are you there, Bo? Where are you?
Sorry, I'm just checking my son into basketball. Hold on one
Oh,
second.
no, don't worry, don't worry.
Looks like Hero already created a DAO workboard.
Yeah, it's already here.
Nice. Heck yeah.
That's awesome. Go team.
Baller. Cool. I got the Google Doc spun up.
Awesome.
I'll drop a link.
Yes.
So I'll just leave the first page for vision, and then we can kind of just put our abstract in there for the concept. Each one, any of us can we just put our own separate idea and we can blend it together. And then the second page will be the form to solicit information from DAOs. And then the third page will be a form to solicit information from prospective DAO workers. And then, we can add whatever else in there. It'd probably be good to migrate the data that we collect to like a spreadsheet. That'll be really fun.
Mm-hmm.
I like spreadsheets.
You're a developer, right? You have to like this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be a C++ developer 10 years ago, 12 years ago, and I was really young and I really enjoyed it. And then I kind of went a different direction and I started working with my hands and doing carpentry and traveling a lot. And so I'm dipping back into development world and it's a little bit, so it's pretty foreign to me at this point, but I'm still like, I feel like I have the residual sort of fluency with computer language in general, with logic as a language and mathematics. So um, I'll be able to pick it up pretty quick, but I'm still kind of transitioning back to this sort of developer mindset and like work ethic and um, just involvement with the terminal. So yeah,
This is
this
cool,
is
no? This is
interesting.
cool.
Yeah, for sure. I love it. I think like logic languages are incredible. I love thinking in this way, and I mean it's just a beautiful thing. I love mathematics, and so it makes sense for me to take the opportunity to get back into it.
Yeah. And I always wonder about people's background. I don't want to be too much curious, but how about you, Ella? So if Miko is from the developer, what's her background?
I'm actually a bit on the younger side. I'm a student. Still, so still studying. Um, I've had a couple internships, one of which was in like a money management
Mm-hmm.
firm. Another one was for a company in Belfast. that worked to get funds to people living below the poverty line with
Wow. Uh-huh.
new fintech.
Mm-hmm.
So generally um, involved in kind of finance. Um, yeah.
Okay, nice. Cool.
What about yourself?
Oh, I graduated in law, kind of 12 years ago, and I've been I've been a public servant for the last 10 years. I hate my job, and I love crypto. That's why I'm here. Pretty much that. I'm the kind of I don't have a kind of logic kind of thinking like Miko. I'm trying to be practical in what I do, but I'm the kind of person that reads a lot and I try to write a lot. It's still hard for me to write in English, but I'm working on that. Yeah, pretty much that.
That's awesome. You're in the right place.
Great. Saying that, I always feel like I'm in the right place when I'm hearing DAO punks and or the P DAO. People are so amazing. I love the energy, Everybody's here happy, right? I, it's kind of late at night here. I'm tired, but I'm really happy to be here talking with you guys, having these ideas. I always feel like I'm creating something when I'm here.
Yeah, well, everyone who's here wants to be. Nobody's
Yeah,
here who don't want to be. So,
exactly. Exactly.
uh, good culture.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's an
And hey
incredible
guys,
feeling, huh? It's like just feeling
y-
like we're always creating something. There's this like little bit of juice of like adrenaline flowing, and we get into that creative flow of invention and like generation of value. I feel like we tapped into that today, which is pretty cool. So thanks for that.
hey Ella, I just realized that you are the girl from the newsletter, right? We were already talking before.
Yeah, I am.
I didn't realize that. That's nice. That's nice.
It's
That's
hard
really
to
nice.
keep it straight here.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm bad with names.
No, no, so am I. Don't
O-
apologize.
Okay, great. And hey guys, it's been awesome being here talking to you, but I have to go. It was a pleasure actually to be here, and I love it. This idea we came up.
Likewise, good night, Diego. Oh, and I recorded this, by the way. I
Oh,
think I
great.
started part of the way in because I was having some technical challenges, but I will upload it to the YouTube channel that I just made and post the link,
Hmm. Okay, could you put the link under this new topic we have here to
the
discussion?
workboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hijacked the newsletter meeting and turned it into our workboard meeting. Oh, okay, wait, quick
No.
before you leave though, two quick questions. One is, do we want to set like do we want to set a next meeting time for the newsletter, a next meeting time for the workboard, or should those continue to be the same meeting? Um, and then the other thing is like this doc. Um, I have the permissions, just anyone with the link can edit. Do you guys want me to make it more exclusive to just invite you guys to be able to edit or just leave it open?
For the first question, I would say to leave the newsletter meeting, and we can try to work on the workboard, like just writing and talking on that topic. And when we feel the need for a call, we can make one. And
Yeah.
a- about the permission to the file, I think it should be open to anyone because we came up with this idea, but pretty much everything here is open to everyone be part of. So I don't I don't see why we should be keep it just for kind of just for us.
Cool.
I'm good with that.
Sounds awesome. Yeah, I think that's brilliant.
Okay, cool.
Okay, awesome.
Thanks for recording this, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually really excited about this. We'll just have like a YouTube channel full of great high quality recordings for all of our meetings.
Great, great, man. Great. Hey guys, bye bye.
Ciao.
See you soon. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye. Have a great
Everybody,
night.
Boa
see ya.
noite.
See you guys. Bye.